Hey, so today I'm going to show you how to make this planter out of 3 cedar fence pickets. I have plans that will be in the description. This is very simple to make, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Let's go. We need some wood glue, a saw of some sort, screwdriver to pull the little staples out, some kind of pencil, a ruler or a tape measure. A brad nailer comes in handy, but if you don't have that, use your own nails or screws or whatever you like. It's good to have you some kind of square. There's a few different kinds of saws you can use. Use your bandsaw, your miter saw, your circular saw, your handheld chainsaw. More about this later. If you don't have some tools, you can use substitute tools to go buy you one from the thrift store. Enough complaining. Let's get after it. Take your 3 fence pickets. I make a pass through my planer just to get a good smooth surface. That's completely optional. You can hit it with a sander. You can leave it as it is. It's up to you. So just get a little idea of what difference that made. I got the little fuzzy surface here, and I got a nice smooth surface here that I run it through the planer. But again, completely optional. You can do that same thing with a sander if you spend a little time on it. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut 8 pieces that are 13 inches long. Let's go. Now, I want you to notice I got my little tape here. On this side of the tape is 13 inches. On the other side of the tape is 14 inches. I'm going to be using both sides of that tape for my measurement. You don't need no fancy stop block and all that. Now these 8 pieces are going to make up these sidewalls. You're going to spread these out and stack 2 on top of each other. Put them down where the good side is up. There we go. Now we're going to make this piece, which is actually 2 different pieces. This is 14 inches, so I'm going to take this offcut here, and then I'm going to cut a 14-inch piece. And here's where I'm going to use the other side of my tape. That'll give me 14 inches. Now use what you want to cut these down. These are going to be about 1.5 inches. I'm going to use my bandsaw because it's quick and I don't have to set up my table saw. All right, I cut 8 of these. They're 14 inches long and they're about 1.5 inches wide. Get my boards lined up. I'm going to run me 4 lines of glue on the edge. I'm going to line this up along the edge here. And I'm going to line it up on the top so it's flush. I'm going to pop me a few nails in it. We're going to do this 3 more times. Got 1 panel. All right, got that done. Now I'm going to flip this over. And then this piece is going to go like this. Bead of glue. Flush it at the top and throw some nails in it. We're going to do that 4 more times. Bead of glue. Now turn this one on its side and tell that one to stand by. All right, so now I'm going to run me a bead of glue right down that little corner. We'll do the same thing on this one. Now we're going to have a board here. Let's do this. Have a board here, and we're going to have another board here. And remember to turn your good side down. All right, flush them at the top and throw some nails in them. Now we're standing this one up. We don't need our spacer anymore. Flush it at the top, get it tight as you can. Now it's as simple as flipping this over. Another bead of glue. Don't forget your glue. Put your picket right here. Picket right here. Give it a little squeeze. Yeah. Get it flush at the top again. Now, if you want to, it's optional. You can put your little clamp on here. All right, we got that done. Look at there. Now, if you're like me, you want to make sure you have reliable tools, but that doesn't stop in your workshop. You're going to have to get out there and cut the grass and trim your trees. And you need to have something that's reliable. It doesn't break the bank at the same time. There's this brand called Cedar, and they make a heck of a product, and they keep improving their design and durability of the product. Let me give you a little demonstration of what I'm talking about here. Now, I've had different brands of these before, but this one is by far the best. And I wanted to take a minute to show you what this thing can do and offer my endorsement for this product. So now we're going to put some little pieces here to hold our bottom. And to do that, I'm just going to use some offcuts. It's about 12 inches here, so I'm going to just cut my piece about at 11. Doesn't have to be perfect. And it's simple as that. Put my piece here. I'll put me a little glue here. I'm going to line my little piece up. Try to even it out on both sides. Flip it over, a little more glue, and bam. Now if you look, you got a perfect little place to rest my boards on when I put my boards in there. Measure this. Sometimes it's a little, it might be a little under 13 or a little over 13. I got 13 right on the money. I'm going to cut mine at 13. I should have a good snug fit. You see that's a good snug fit. That's my dry fit, but when I put them in there, I'm going to space these gaps out, and that's going to be my drainage. I'm going to take them out and put some glue in here. You see how easy this thing's coming together? So I'm going to even these out like that. Don't have to be perfect. And these little slots are going to be where my water drains through. Throw me a couple staples. All right, now we got a bottom. You can clean up that glue if you want to. This thing's going to be sitting outside, so I ain't too worried about it. After I'm all done, I'll hit it with a sander a little bit. Ain't going to spend much time on it though. All right, now what I like to do is I'm going to put me a little trimming right here that's going to make it pop. And I'm just going to use some offcuts here. All right, so what I like to do is I'll let that corner sit up on that edge like that, right where I'm going to put it at. And then come over here, I'm going to line that thing up. You're going to make a mark right where you want it. So from there, I take my little baby square. If you don't have a baby square, then too bad, I do. I'm gonna make a line here, and I'm gonna transfer that line here. I'm gonna cut this off with my little hand saw. That's the best part of woodworking right there. Little handsaw action. Look at that. Don't get much better than that, boy. So what do you do next? Glue, y'all. Ain't you learning anything? Put your glue in here. Yep. Then what's next? Flush it, nail it. Yep. Oh yeah. Rinse and repeat. Keep your pencil sharp, y'all. I don't need y'all making bad cuts. That's what you got. Gonna do that 3 more times. Now we're almost there. Now all we got to do is make the little miter joints. Now you don't have to make the miter joints. You can leave them straight. If you want to get fancy, you can put the little miters on here. You're going to get what's left of your fence picket. I'm going to give you an example of how easy this comes out. This little staple here. Pop your little staple out. Some people cut these ends off. All you got to do is just pop it out with your screwdriver. All right, now you're going to cut you out 4 pieces. You're going to set your fence, or however you're cutting it, you're going to cut it about 1.5 inches, give or take. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to rip out 4 pieces. All right, go ahead and set your box up beside your miter saw. Hopefully you got a miter saw. If you don't have a miter saw, well, you can do this by hand. It's just going to take a little more time. So now we're going to take that miter saw and set it at 45 degrees. We'll take our 4 pieces. On each one of those pieces, we're going to lay down a 45-degree angle. 145 here. Easy peasy. I'm flipping these things over to try to stay consistent, the same color of wood. Does that matter? Probably not, but that's what I do. All right, now I got 145 on each one of those pieces. Now, one at a time, I'm going to line that part up with the corner. Should look something like that, lined up with the corner. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see better. So I line this up like I told you. I want that corner right there to be the very beginning of my 45-degree bevel. I want to make me a little mark right there. One thing it wasn't in your materials list is a speed square. It'd be nice to have a speed square. And what you're going to do is you're going to line it up best you can with that line, but we're going to cut it a little big. So I marked it so it would be a little big, so I had some room for error. Make sure you're still on your line there. I'm going to cut just outside of that line. Now it's as simple as just lining up your marks. I just need to take a tiny bit off. So take your piece and then hit that blade until that blade flexes just a little bit, and you're going to be able to skim just a little bit off. Yep, right on the money. So if you can see that, that's what you got. I'm going to run me some glue along here. And I'm going to line it up just like I told you at each corner. Flush it right along here. Now I'm going to nail it down. Alrighty. Now we're going to take our next piece. We're going to set it in that miter that we just created, flush it, and do the same thing right here. We find this corner right here. You don't have to be perfect. And the reason why you don't have to be perfect, you want to leave some meat on the bone. And what I mean by that, you're going to cut it a little bit long, line it up. Cutting a little outside the line so I can dial it in, buddy. Now for this last one, you're going to do exactly what I said. Cut it a little bit long. And you're going to keep trimming it until it's perfect. I'll give it another trim. It improved, but it's not quite there. Take your time. Don't get impatient on me. And she is about right. Now I want to show you a trick. I want you to look at that far corner. My miter's got a little bit of separation in it. I'll show you how to fix that. So a little bit at the corner, and this one looks pretty good. You're going to get that every once in a while because this wood is not milled up and perfect. You're going to put a little glue on here. And what I didn't tell you earlier, take your glue and put it on your ends right here. This way your miters can have some glue to join them together. And put that sucker right here, just like you were going to nail it up. And you're gonna close that gap up by rotating it. And she's about closed up now. Put you a few staples in it. So as you come down the line, you're going to line it up so it's flushed, a little bit at a time. Staple. I'm going to push it over. See it moving? Push it over. Lines up. Staple. A little bit more. A little more. And then push this thing on together here. Oh yeah, not bad, not bad. All right, from here, you're pretty much done. There's a couple things you can think about. You got these little holes from your staples. You can do a few things there. I'll show you. If you have a pin nailer, which a lot of us don't have a pin nailer, this is actually a new one. I just got it. I'm excited about using it. If you use a pin nailer, you won't get as big of holes when it comes to, shooting your staples in. Let me show you a little bit of different. I'm going to shoot one right beside this one. You can see, or barely see, where it's at. I'll shoot another one. Pretty nice there. So you can use a pin nailer. You can do what I like to do is smear you a little glue in these holes, and then while it's wet, you're going to come back with your orbital sander and you're going to sand it. And what it's going to do is you're going to have the glue in the holes, and the sawdust from the wood and the sanding is going to sit down in those holes. When it dries, it's going to look pretty good. That's what I did here. I let the glue sit in the holes. While it was wet, I went ahead and did some sanding. You can see where it blended in a little bit better. Of course, you can leave it like it is and just leave the holes, because you're probably going to have this sitting outside anyway, and it's going to get a little weathered over time, so why worry about it? You can put wood filler in, and you can smooth those holes over. I'm not going to worry about it here. I am going to hit it with a sander a little bit, and we're going to call this done. I'm going to round off some of these corners, these sharp edges. I'm going to sand it down a little bit and just take the glue squeeze out, kind of neaten that up a little bit. Some of this glue squeeze out under the bottom, who cares? So let's go ahead and just shine things up a little bit. Then we'll be wrapping things up and be ready to put some dirt in it. Yes, sir. Got two nice planters. Now we need to put some dirt in these bad boys. Let's go.